It's a beautiful, very mild morning, mid-February, and the temperature on the way here in this bit of early spring, late winter sunshine is 13 degrees centigrade already. I'm surrounded by a big flock of chaffinches. I dare say there's a couple of bramblings in amongst it. Not. There they go, look, some on them. And I'm having a walk onto Budby today because of the temperature. There has to be an oil beetle lurking around. But we'll see what we can find, see if something is out and about. Butterfly is extremely likely, as long as I find somewhere sheltered. I've just found this, which is Chrysalina hypericii. Hopefully this will stay in focus. Just found it on the walk up on an old seed head of St John's wort, so I've dug down into the vegetation and found a bit of new St John's wort growth. I was surprised. I was hoping that it was Chrysalina brunswichensis, but on inspection it's Chrysalina hypericii. Chrysalina brunswichensis was found on this little stretch of forest track in 2021, one of 4 or 5 sites for it, after not being recorded in the county for the best part of a century. Chrysalina hypericii, of course, like this one, is considerably more common. And to find this on a nice warm February morning is lovely. I like finding stuff. So here then is a freshly emerged male pale brindled beauty. Of all the years I've spent looking at tree trunks, this is the first one I've found freshly emerged. It's nice for you to actually see one in the daytime, and this one's quite a nicely marked one because it's almost like a very dark grey background and then highlighted almost in a, well, it's a very pale brown with a hint of gold from my eyes. Lovely. I'm standing along the edge of the northwest corner of Budby, and this is a glimpse really of how Budby used to be across the site, with a lot of pine scrub and birch scrub. I've tracked along the path, this is just to my left, and there's no sign of any oil beetles yet. I've been concentrating my efforts in any sheltered pockets on some of the banks from where the path was scraped a few years ago. I'm convinced that there will be oil beetles out today. I just hope it stays pleasant enough for me to continue my search. But I'll give it another hour and check all the usual early spots where the beetles traditionally appear. Yeah, never know your luck, do you? This area, these couple of spoil heaps here, and there's 2 just there, for the last few years have been the first place where oil beetles have turned up, at least based on myself and Dillis's experience. And it applies again in 2022 because there's 2 grazing on the grass on that spoil heap just there. I'd best show them, hadn't I? And here they are. There's a larger one here, and then there's one just at the back of that stem. These are amazing beetles, and typically grazing on this broader leafed grass and the fresh green leaves. Now these are just absolutely stunning beetles. The females become so swollen they become enormous, and this one here is not far off an inch long. The females get considerably bigger than this. It's nice that this one is playing, the other one is just waltzing into the longer grass. One of these two, or the other one to this one, has obviously been out at least a couple of days, or maybe a week, longer than this one, because it's larger and you can see that it's better fed by the abdomen compared to this individual here. Now you can hear the wind. Luckily it's not affecting that chap. These are super beetles. This one is measuring about an inch long from head to the end of the abdomen, but they get considerably bigger than this. They all have that beautiful metallic bluish tone to the elytra, head and pronotum. This species here at Budby is Meloe prospicarabeus, the so-called black oil beetle. Now in Nottinghamshire it is also known from Newstead Abbey, but as I've said in previous videos regarding the oil beetle, there's been no reports from Newstead Abbey since about 2016, I think it is. So Newstead Abbey is top of the list of priorities to see whether it still survives there. And there's another site to check up on this spring, and that's Bulwell Forest Golf Course. Apparently there's a record from there from 1970, or at least a claimed sighting, but they are known from there historically. And I think it's both this species, the black oil beetle, and I think maybe, well, certainly one of the other oil beetles, there's a historical record for that species. There's a wheezy wander around Bulwell Forest Golf Course is on the cards. Maybe a couple of wheezy wanders. And just look at this for a stunning lycocid. This is one of the wolf spiders, and it's a beautifully marked Arctosa perita, one of our most fabulously marked wolf spiders. I would say this is the best specimen I've seen. The coloration is absolutely fabulous. Just against where I've been filming oil beetles, notice this bit of movement as it starts to rain. But what a beauty that is. As with all the so-called wolf spiders, this is a species that doesn't make a web and hunts on the move, or at least waits for prey to come near to it. Well, I'm being mobbed by an Epicervus balteatus, the marmalade hoverfly, who likes the tripod. But what a corking spider this is. Absolutely beautiful. I may well take this home just for the purposes of photographing, because I didn't bring my camera today. Sod's law, leave your camera at home. Everything comes out to play and sits there and poses. But isn't that just a beautifully marked spider? You can see the annulations to the legs, but then the abdomen is beautifully marked. That sort of salmon pink. Oh, there we are. It heard me praising it. Now you can see the abdomen better. What a gorgeous spider that is. Appreciate this for the markings and the coloration, if you don't like spiders. That's the best way to look at it. It's just beautifully marked. It's a corker. Found a third. Now, this isn't dead. This is the posture adopted when you pick them up. I think this has just come out. And this is a female, because see how the antennae are straight? They've not got that kinking. It's perfectly okay. This is a defence. It'll sit itself upright when it thinks that it's safe, which it is in my hands. You can see how small that abdomen is. In a few weeks' time, that will stretch, the whole beetle will stretch across 3 of my fingers. They become enormous. Well, the skies are starting to darken. There's been a bit of the wet stuff come out of it about 10-15 minutes ago, but I'm quite happy what I found today. 3rd or 4th time of asking to finally find oil beetles out. I wouldn't say out and about because they're not active yet. They're still only in the very early stages of adulthood. In fact, I would say that 2 have hatched this morning, but one, the larger one of the first 2 that I found, has certainly been out for up to a week, I would imagine. It's certainly better fed. 2 males and 1 female, and that was a very small female. It just shows when I come to film oil beetles in another few weeks, probably you will see the difference in size. They become monsters. That ought to be a slimmer's world for oil beetles. They could do with it. So this looks like the early outer edges of Storm Dudley. But it's been a decent morning. 3 oil beetles, green shieldbug on one of the fence posts. Fence posts are great places to look for invertebrates. They warm up just the same as tree trunks. Pale brindle beauty. And as I feel a few spots of rain now, I'd best start and make my way back to the car before it ruins my hair or fetches me perm out. It'll soon need perming again.